morning and good evening, everyone. Thanks for taking out time to join this session. This is Nitin Jetli. I'm Senior Art Director from Media Studio.
Hi everyone, this is Chetan Sayal. I'm an art director at Level 2 from India Studio. And this is our first time presenting at the XC Summit. Quite excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, we feel extremely privileged to be, presenting before a fantastic audience. Cool. So the topic we want to cover is the future landscape of retail industry, and we thought that there wouldn't be a better time to discuss this. So we all know that COVID-19 has affected millions of lives, and it has deeply impacted industries across the globe. It has led to global lockdowns, confining people to their homes. Uh, it had a terrible impact on businesses as they struggled for survival, and some large companies had to file for bankruptcy. Yet, on a positive front, it also provided an opportunity to reimagine the future. It acted as a catalyst for digital acceleration and implementation of innovative strategies, which would enable retail industry to be sustainable and stay relevant. Now, in the light of the pandemic, shoppers are really skeptical about stepping out from their homes and do physical shopping, as they don't want to risk their health. Transparency, for instance, the origin of the products has become a very, very important factor in decision making while purchasing a product. Consumers are kind of very keen to know whether their products are made locally or from any other resource. Now, when we put all of these aspects together, due to the outbreak, what has happened, the retail shopping experience is going to be redefined by technology more than ever. And technology is going to play a pivotal role in shaping up the future. We've already seen enormous changes in the consumer behavior, as a majority of shoppers are kind of have transformed to from offline to online, and the studies kind of show that they'll retain this behavior even after the crisis is abated. So this is one of these are some interesting stats which show how the shopping trends have changed. We all know that all of these trends, which are in-app shopping, home delivery, curbside pickup, social media, these have been in the industry for quite a long time. But all these trends have kind of been amplified because of the pandemic, and caused a change in consumer behavior. One of the interesting statistics was the download and use of retail applications during the lockdown kind of matched the levels registered during the 2019 Black Friday period. So that is how the consumers have shifted from an offline to an online channel, because of the crisis. While talking about the users, we have seen, this is a stat which is from CNBC. 43% was the number who kind of rarely shopped online, which seems to be a substantial amount given the US population. And such was the impact that of the pandemic, that 90% of the people kind of bought at least one item online. So this has been the shift, wherein people are more comfortable shopping online. And while we talk about the audience, the target audience, elderly audience who is in a self-imposed quarantine, and who used to be quite apprehensive about shopping online, they are much more comfortable ordering online and getting their getting their goods delivered in a safe manner, which provides them convenience, as well as it is a risk-free delivery for them. So if you look at these figures again, if you look at all the segments across the consumer base, now millennials and Gen X is something we definitely expect them to grow. But more importantly, the boomers and Gen X, these are the segments which are not apparently shopping online to a large extent. We have seen a huge spike in these segments. So this has been the kind of impact this outbreak has really led to, shifting the consumer behavior completely. After having talked about the consumer behavior, we also need to understand that how the companies are really putting into consideration as to in terms of catering to the users needs in terms of how they are coping up with the online experience, and how the deliveries would match to their expectations, given the fact they would want a safe and risk-free delivery. So starting from the warehousing, this is something, because of the COVID, it leads to minimal human contact, and so a lot of deployment of robotics and automated processes are in place to make the warehouses really function in a much efficient and risk-free way, so that the goods are kind of delivered in a safe manner, and you know the process is pretty seamless. Moving further on, curbside pickup has been a prevalent, a method in terms of delivery, but then it has only been given impetus because of this pandemic. It is a great contactless solution to COVID shopping. As businesses try to stay open during the pandemic, safety became paramount. Curbside pickup is something which requires no face-to-face interaction or close proximity to other people. And it was also a matter of customer retention for brand. They didn't want to lose their customer base, and they still wanted to have customers shop their products in a safe manner. And during the lockdown, the curbside pickup kind of jumped 87%. These are some of the interesting figures, which have taken place because of the outbreak. Now, how many of you would have craved for a pastry from a local cafe during the lockdown, but still had to make peace with an alternative available at home? Now, owned by Alphabet Incorporation, Wing Delivery is a drone company which has really expanded to become a lifeline for such businesses and also benefiting customers. Now, in the times of social distancing, Wing has really fast-tracked bringing more stores and products online. Consumers can now order, products as small as donuts and pastries from local cafes, which really, survived on walk-in customers. So such has been the impact, and if you look at the testimonial, this comes from a local cafe owner, wherein, we can clearly see there was about, 50%, they were able to sell 50% more of their products than they would have done. So because of this air delivery and technology really coming into play, this has really given way to new methods in terms of delivering seamlessly to people, and also kind of ensuring that everything remains smooth and functional. Again, talking about automated and autonomous delivery, how do we acquire essential goods like toilet papers, medicines, food, etc., has taken greater significance than ever before. Driverless vehicles, which were once considered as a novelty, are becoming a norm. Neura is one such example. Having a fleet of autonomous vehicles, Neura has partnered with CVS Pharmacy to deliver prescriptions, medicines, and other essential needs. So Kroger was the first one to partner with Neuro to deliver all the grocery items. But looking at how this pandemic has really affected people in the shopping trends, it has really come forward to kind of partner with CVS, delivering essential services like medicines and prescriptions at this point in time. It is equipped with all the necessary sensors to ensure safety and smooth functioning of the vehicle. And we definitely feel that it is indeed a stepping stone towards delivering all kinds of goods beyond foods and groceries. And this paves for a bright future for all the consumers. Now, while we talk about autonomous robots, another such example is Starship, which was only confined to food deliveries earlier, but has been really experiencing a surge of interest by the grocery stores and other delivery service companies. It uses GPS and computer vision to pinpoint the location. Now we all know that with every innovation there comes a challenge. Because of the small size, the Starship robot was often seen stuck in the sidewalks on a number of occasions, and this is a problem which they are trying to address so that they can cater to future demands from the consumers, and also they can really ramp up their business to meet the consumers' needs. social commerce is really kind of is impacted, or rather has gained from the outbreak, is live streaming is one such example. So live streaming is a concept which was pioneered in China, where teleshopping like experiences are hosted as live streams by influencers with interactive games and giveaways. People do crave for immersive experiences, and hands-on demonstrations of interesting products provide a much more personal online shopping experience. So this is as good as a physical experience, wherein uh, wherein wherein you are unable to shop a product physically, but then this kind of demonstration helps you understand product in a much better way. Uh, this this is also kind of this is also gaining a lot of traction in the Western markets. To the Western markets are taking steps to reinforce this trend. Amazon Live has been there in the market for some time, but it is really catalyzing its operations to have live demonstrations of a wide variety of products and sectors.
So we've all missed going to our favorite local stores, going and really exploring products, feeling and touching them, and deciding what we want to buy. But ever since the lockdown, we've not really had that luxury to like step out and visit these stores, and most of these stores do not even have an online presence, leading to a lot of businesses being forced to shut down. So in times like these, social media has really come ahead and helped sustain these kind of brands. So Facebook started this campaign to support small businesses by launching the hashtag and the sticker on Facebook and Instagram, where people can go ahead and see them in the posts as well as stories, and they can probably buy something from them to get delivered at a much later stage, or even donate or promote these businesses to spread awareness. By launching their latest feature, shops, they have allowed these businesses to set up a free storefront on Instagram and Facebook, again to display and showcase their collections and let users buy directly from the app. So how this is different from marketplace is that marketplace used to behave more on the lines of eBay and Craigslist, where people can go ahead and sell their own personal belongings. But shops, on the other hand, is more like an Etsy store, where an established business can go ahead and showcase their collection. So how, as office goers, we have sort of developed a habit and made it a norm to use video calling as a means to communicate. More and more brands are offering personalized shopping for consumers to, like set them up with in-store experts to really help them guide and consult on their specific needs. So this particular example that you can see on the screen is from Currys PC World, which is a very big electronics chain in the UK. They have started this service where people can go ahead and consult with in-store experts on their specific electronics and home appliance needs. So augmented reality is a persuasive means of spatial storytelling, and it is highly interactive and really engaging with people. And we see a lot of shift in major apparel brands adopting for this technology, where users can really see in a virtual space what a particular piece of garment would look like within their own space in 3D. Now, taking this a little bit more further, certain companies are even developing applications that can help users, really be intimate with this garment. So imagine themselves as modeling these clothes to really see how this particular thing would look on them, where they can't go to a store and enter a trial room. So this is Super Personal, a UK-based AI company that has developed this application to swap faces on particular garments that they can select with their kind of body types. Even brands like Adidas and Gucci have opted for AR technology, wherein they are trying to offer a more in-store kind of experience with shoes. The try-on feature works best with shoes because it's a smaller surface area and really gives more precise view of how a particular thing would look on the user's body. not just limited to fashion, the industry is also looking at helping out brands, like furniture brands like IKEA, where they have this technology that they have been using for a while. But given the fact that now more and more people are, scared to step out, and the stats of really, going to a brick and mortar store are decreasing, they have also started expanding into the space where they have started acquiring more AI companies to develop this application even more better and further. And you also kind of see a shift in luxury brands where they would normally use traditional ways of shopping, where they would allow customers to come and see the product face to face. Now even they have started adopting AR as a means to like showcase the product and sell it online. So while we've talked about what is happening in the digital space, how technology is trying to like cultivate a means of a safer shopping methodology, what is happening at brick and mortar spaces? So with more lockdowns getting open across the world in phases, you would see that in malls and retail stores there is strategic changes that have been made, like placing of social distancing stickers or those transparent barricades, installation of infrared scanners to measure body temperature, as well as AI trackers to monitor how many people are clustered at one point, and is it safe for them to like be together. uh, One of the fastest methods of contactless shopping has proven to be the scan pay and go, which sort of was in existence but was not really picking up earlier, because a lot of retailers thought that there was some danger of theft, because they would not be able to manage so many people and control who's buying what. But given the situation now that only limited number of people are allowed within a store, more and more brands have set up this technology within hundreds of their stores across the world. Burberry has launched one of its kind concept store in Shenzhen, which completely operates on social media. So they have partnered with WeChat to develop this program where everything in the store has a QR code on display, and all the information about that particular product can be availed by scanning that code. The customer can actually buy the thing over there. They can even make reservations at the in-store restaurant, and even gain whatever kind of information they need about a particular product. The application also allows them to gain points by sharing that they can redeem on other goods. What about trying on clothes? So a new means of a fitting room where you don't actually have to try something is being developed by the company Bold Matrix through Contactless Fit, which is an application that they have developed using machine learning algorithms over the period of 10 years now. They have worked exclusively within the fashion sector, and they are trying to really provide tailor-made fits to people without actually trying on the garment. The user just has to provide certain kind of data, like the body weight, shoe size, simple data like that. And using machine learning algorithms, the app would suggest what is the best possible fit of a particular garment that would suit them. We've also seen, interesting case studies from lighting companies. So Healthy is a lighting company that has been working with NASA for creating sterilization products for them. And they have really stepped into the space by creating a new entryway called the Cleanse Portal, which utilizes UV light to help get rid of potential viruses and bacteria. It's completely harmless to humans, but works really well on any kind of viruses. So with all of these technologies coming into place and trends developing over the last few months, and we've seen that how COVID has really accelerated digital retail and has really fast-tracked consumer behavior by 5 years, is what experts are talking about. And retailers who have really sustained themselves within this crisis are the ones who've taken this as an opportunity and adapted to this change in order to like survive. And more and more users, like we've seen in the previous stats, that even people who would normally just prefer a traditional means of shopping, like 60 plus age group, who would not really use technology to buy anything online, have really started adopting this, and they have started seeing the benefits of comfort and convenience by using these kind of technologies. So while the pandemic is here to stay for long, technology is really helping the retail sector to sustain itself. So with that, our presentation ends. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.